what do they call this, blemishes. And then there's this condition people say they use it for, vitiligo, where they have patchy skin and then they just want to even out their color. How does that work into this?
Okay, so vitiligo is a medical condition and it is an acquired depigmenting disorder, which means something is damaging the skin cells that produce the color, that's the melanocytes.
Okay.
So because it's autoimmune and it's acquired, we may use steroids.
Oh, it's autoimmune.
It's an autoimmune problem.
Okay.
Okay. So we may use steroids because steroids have immune modulatory properties. Okay. So we can actually prescribe steroids, but it will be prescription, and we will tell them how to use it because the steroids are not supposed to be evening out. They're supposed to be regulating the immune process.
Which means, correct me if I'm wrong, they're supposed to be helping the body to form the melanin and not fight it.
That's correct.
Not really to tone or bleach or whiten or fade.
The reverse is the case because if you're, it's funny, you know, the steroids have this, it's almost like a seesaw kind of action. And if you use it correctly, you get the response you want. The problem is the side effect of continued steroids will be depigmentation, hypopigmentation, that's reduced color.
So you'll have a time where they have to stop it, right?
Yeah, we don't even give steroids. It's time. That's why I said it's prescription. We give the steroids when they're needed to be given, and then we tell them to desist from using it at certain times.
You know, I've seen a couple of dark-skinned models, internationally acclaimed dark-skinned models. They are supposed to be role models. People have seen them. So I don't know, is this a psychological thing we're facing here? Because if you say, I've got to be light-skinned to be beautiful, what do you say to the dark-skinned model who's on the world stage?
If I may ask you a question, do you think that every light-skinned model you see is beautiful? Not necessarily.
Is not by color.
Exactly. So the point still remains that while some people will be attracted or would want to look like a certain color, some others, probably the minority, wouldn't mind the darker skinned persons. And like what you've said, if you actually take in terms of percentage or relativity, you have fewer world famous black models because
That's
even
true.
the media or the beauty industry have touted fairness to success, or fairness to better, or lightness to better. Even religious ways, we tend to use dark as bad and light as good. So you see, you're very correct. You actually hit it on when you talk in terms of psychology. We probably may have to call the clinical psychologist to say, let's talk to these people who chronically use skin lightening, that where exactly is your psyche concerning your skin color? What does it do for you to remain this color, or what does it not do for you to be this color? You know,
and should we also like take this kind of approach? Like, you know, there was a time we were always wearing European stuff, but all of a sudden our own fabrics have become famous,
yes,
fine,
yes,
and the couture for it is just out of this world. So why not do that with your skin as well?
It's going to get there. I am hopeful that it's going to get there because the transition between owning yourself, owning your person, and knowing who you are is beginning to happen. Very slowly, but it's beginning to happen. You've already talked about it. Now we're talking about even how you go to parties or events and we rarely play European music.
That's
we're now
right.
playing now. So our music is coming and we're owning it and we are exporting it. Our clothing, our fashion is coming in, we're owning it and we're, so eventually I'm believing that it's going to happen to even our perception of who we are. Because the problem about skin lightening is actually more than skin deep. We just talked about, and we started the talk with renal failure. That's one of the reasons.
Tell us what it does to the skin. We've not
skin
actually
lightening. Talked about side effects.
The side effects on the skin itself, which is the organ that everybody's seeing.
Yes. So, because I'm a dermatologist, but I'm a physician first, I have even both worries, the systemic side effects and then the cutaneous side effects. So the skin side effects, which are cutaneous, from simple, straightforward, offensive smell.
Okay.
Which most of the products will cause. I mean, you will find people and then they're having to use a lot of perfumes too.
That's even social. Okay,
but it's still skin because people come to us and say they have bromhidrosis.
Okay.
That's a disorder. And we now find out what exactly is coming to play. Again, we talk in terms of ochronosis or exogenous ochronosis, where they have this discoloration just at the...
They go black in the face, for want of a better word, I mean for me.
Okay, greenish black. Yes, greenish black. Not just on the face, on the areas where the sun hits the cheekbones highest.
You know what people say? She didn't use it well. Yes. Or maybe she used the cheap product.
One. Thank you. Unfortunately, you use expensive, you use cheap products. Because you're not destroying the melanocytes, you're just reducing certain activities of the enzymes that are allowing your skin to tap the color from the ultraviolet rays. You will still get it. You just have to continue. So that's the problem. So again, you have thin skin and they break. You have multiple acne, which some people say that's why they started using the skin lightening.
Yeah, we just saw the acne.
You did?
We just saw it on the face.
All right. Yes, so you have skin. Exactly. So you have steroid acne. That's it. You have them. And then because people are struggling to take care of this acne, they prick at it, they pinch at it, and then they have the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, that's the black dots that you're seeing. Then they start to correct that. So you see, it's a bit of like a vicious circle. You go this way, you come back, and you're getting the same acne. And because the skin is thinned and regressing as much, they start to be very sensitive. They have repeated infections, fungal infections, candida, tinea.
On the face.
Everywhere. You see, that's another problem. People think that they're applying it only on the face, but this thing is happening here. I'm like, your face is part of your body.
Yes, yes.
Your skin, the vessels on your face will take up these things and it will become systemic. So you will have issues.
So you can't just say, I restricted it to my face.
Well, unfortunately, your face doesn't restrict itself to the neck. Your skin doesn't restrict itself to the face and the neck. And again, with sun exposed, with some ultraviolet exposure, you tend to have, we are worried about the tendency to malignancies. That is something, I mean, we are very well blessed with the ultraviolet rays and we're very close to equator. So we have all those problems. Infections that I talked about, thin skin, stretch marks, striatus, greenish discoloration. You tend to have, that's cutaneous, so we can go on. And then, they tend to have discolored nails.
Yes, and knuckles.
Oh, the knuckles are bad.
Let's take a break.
No problem.
We'll come back and continue from that point. Wait for us. We're coming back after the break.